you're in the right place if you are frustrated with being a parent to a teen and you're sick and tired of your teen lying to you and you're overwhelmed because every single time you talk, it turns into a fight. Welcome to Truce with Your Teen video. Besides the typical eye rolling and your teens sucking in their teeth and comments under their breath, no matter what you say, no matter how hard you try to communicate and get your point across, nothing seems to work. My parents split up at about 6, 7, and I grew up with my dad, and he was a single father. Let me tell you right now, that was no picnic. We had our good days, yes, sure. But he had this thing about lecturing, and these talks would go on and on and on for hours, sometimes days. And let me tell you, from a teen's perspective, I would tune my dad out in like the first 20 minutes. I know that every single time you talk to your child and your teen, you want them to listen because everything you have to say is so valuable. Your experiences, your wisdom, what you learned, what you didn't learn, or what you learned from what your friends did. I wasn't asked for the reasons to my behavior, to my actions. And when I was, it wasn't with an open mind. And I was so scared with what I was going to say that my go-to answer was, I don't know. And that infuriated my dad even more. Sometimes our brains just don't develop or work the way we want them to when we want them to. And so as a teenager, because of the hormones, because of the emotions, your teen isn't really able to express or even understand what's even going on in their own brain and in their own body. Even though your teen can have an intellectual conversation in school, with a teacher, with you, with friends, a lot of this is subconscious. And I know you want answers, and so does your teen. But more than that, your teen wants the love and acceptance and needs it from you. And what I want for you is to have your relationship with your teen go from meaningless to memorable. There's a quote that says, there's a little truth behind every just kidding. There's a little curiosity behind every just wondering. A little knowledge behind every I don't know. And a little emotion behind every I don't care. As a parent, your responsibility is huge. And whether you consciously planned your teen coming into this life at the time he or she did, the best gifts that you can give are unconditional love. And also support to make the best decisions. Your teen's gonna make some rights and your teen's gonna make some wrongs. But it's your job, it's your responsibility to love them unconditionally and to teach them and guide them along the way. And that support is priceless. And the unconditional love is priceless. Okay, so I gave you some information and you're probably wondering, okay Linda, but how is this going to happen when I've tapped out all my resources? I'm exhausted after work. I have other kids to deal with. I've got a relationship on top of that. And I'm just tired and we're not even talking anymore. What am I going to do?